Hi, in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at creating a org mode handler for video file links using the mpv.el package. So org mode has handlers for different kind of links, so you can prefix a link with something like HTTP or HTTPS to open it in your browser, or file to open a local file. Now, the mpv.el package for emacs allows you to control MPV over a socket using emacs, and there is a bit of code that actually creates an MPV link for org mode that replaces the default file link so that you can actually use it with local files. So you can create a link with an MPV prefix for a local video file and it will open the video with MPV. But there isn't a bit of code for an external file, so that's what I'm going to fix. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a URL here and I'm going to show you 3 ways we can do this. We can do it manually by adding in a link, so I'll do this first of all. So normally when you add a link, it'll be, something like this, type, URL and then the description. Like that, okay? Now, that link there, if I click on that, you can see that's opened that link in the browser. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually change this. So I'm going to call this Jose to Tune. And what I'm going to do is add a prefix to this URL that will automatically open that link with MPV player. Okay, let me just have some tea. So what we do is we're going to prefix this with video like that. Okay, and what I'm going to now do is open this link and it will open video with MPV on my external monitor. So I'm just going to open the link and then switch to capturing the second display. Okay, give it a sec, just capturing, there we go. And there's Matty from the Magpie channel. Okay, so I'm just going to switch back to the laptop here. So you can see if I just delete the closing bracket, what the format here we have is very simple. An org mode link with a prefix of video colon, and as you can see there, what happens is when I run Control C, Control O, it actually uses a bit of back-end code that I've written and the mpv.el package in combination with your mpv.config. You can set up profiles in your mpv.config that match particular URLs and then execute particular commands with MPVs. So, for example, I have my config in MPV set up to match YouTube videos and always open them full screen on the second display. So this is how we can manually create the link, but let's step it up a notch. So that's a manual link, okay? But we don't want to do that. We want to automate it a bit. So let's pick another video. It is fair and balanced, so we can copy that URL. And what I'm going to do now is, you can see I'm in insert mode here, and I'm going to press Control CL to insert a link. And watch what happens. Control L rather. And what you can see here is these are the predefined org mode handlers for particular things like EWW, FTP, IRC, W3M, that kind of thing. You can see down there MPV, which is for the local files. What I'm going to do now is start typing video. Okay, press return. No completion support, and what that means is as you type, it's not going to auto-complete for you because we can't auto-complete a URL. So what we're going to do is press Control Y to yank the URL in there. Then it prompts us for a description. So we're going to go Trump goes nuts again. Press return, and you can see nuts. That's actually another term for nuts, not just a misspelling. So you can see it's automatically inserted the link for us. So rather than manually typing it out, what we did, we create a new headline here, insert mode, Control-C, Control-L, Control-C, Control-L, video, press return, Control-Y to yank the contents of the clipboard, which is the URL, and Trump goes nuts. Press return, and you can see it has added that link there. So what I'll do is I'll just open this link to show you it's working, and switch across to here. Give it a second. There we go. And I'm not actually capturing the audio, I'm just capturing the video, just to make things easier. Okay. So what I'm going to do is switch back to the laptop. And incidentally, what I'm doing here is I'm using a application called OBS Command, which works with the OBS WebSocket, so that I can change scenes, and I've got it set up with Emacs. I'm on freebsd, and what I had to do was install Rust and then actually build the OBS Command application, which only took a minute. But that's just a little side note. So you can see the videos were opening on the external display. Now what I'm going to also show you after the manual links is, and the Control-C, Control-L, insert link, is I've also created an org capture template to step things up another notch as well. And then what I'm going to do is actually go through the code and show you how this works. What I also want to point out is these links, when I click on a link, it's opening it in MPV, okay? When I click on another link, run Control-C, Control-O, what it's going to do is going to add it to the playlist. Yeah. So instead of having it so that, I click on, run the command on one link that opens a video, and then, I click on another one, and, it stops the video, and then opens another MPV window. What it's going to do is actually just queue them up, so you can actually have a full list down here of videos and just go Control-C, Control-O on all of them and actually queue up a load of videos. So I'll show you that in action now. Control-C, Control-O, Control-C, Control-O, switch over here to the monitor. Oh. And what happened there? Hang on a minute, let me just p-kill MPV. It's just disappeared behind the screen. Okay, hang on. Monitor, there we go, give it a second. Okay, if I killed it, there we go. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is actually switch back to the laptop here. Oh, hang on. All right, okay, so I'm just switched back to the laptop. Okay, yeah, I am on the laptop. So what I want to do is show you another feature of MPV, is the Hydra. So if I press function 2 and space, what it's actually going to do is actually playing and pausing the video. You can see down here what I've got is a list of commands that I can execute with a keyboard shortcut now. I can control MPV, move forward, backwards, pause, play, take a screenshot, but I can also advance between the different items in the playlist. So as you can see on the right down here, we've got playlist, next item in playlist, previous, jump to item in playlist or remove playlist entry. So if I press E, what you'll see is there's 2 items listed in the playlist, and the current one is Jose Mourinho to Newcastle or Chelsea, and you can see the second one is a URL. And the way that this works is once it's actually started playing, it will convert the URL into the title, so that's why the second one doesn't have a title. But what the important point is here is that you can see I've got 2 items queued up in the playlist. Okay, so I can quit that now, and I'm back on the laptop here. So what we've done is 2 things. We've done it manually, adding in the link manually like this, bracket video colon the URL. And the important thing about these URLs is they can be any URL supported by MPV player, which uses yt-dlp in the back end. So that basically means pretty much most videos on the internet apart from DRM encrypted videos. So this will play YouTube videos or Dailymotion, Vimeo, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, or just regular links to a video file like an MP4, an MKV, that sort of thing. So that's the manual way we did it, by manually typing that out, which is possible, but it's better to have some automation in here. So that's why we have the second section, and we just grab that URL to show you again. So the second way we did this, insert mode, Control-C, Control-L, video, press return, Control-Y, paste that in, another vid, and you can see it's put that in there. Okay, next step. What we want to do is actually create an all capture template. So let's just do this. What I'm going to do is come across to video. So what I've created is a video.org file that I've also bookmarked, and I've put it in. I've got like a Git repository for my bookmarks for web links, but I've also created a video.org file for video files. So let me just pour some more tea out here. So what we're basically going to do is we're going to have a org capture template that will automatically capture the URLs, prefix it with a video thing, prompt you for a description, and then add it to this file, and then you can actually reorganize it. You can create different headings and refile it into that sort of thing. So let's show you this in action. Okay, so let's come across to Rubenstein. Okay, the boiler killer blow, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the org capture template. So I think it's Control-C. I think I've got it bound to Control-C. What you can see here in this window is select a capture template. I've got one for websites, which is my regular bookmarks, basically. And then we've got another one called video URL. So press V. You can see it's already grabbed the URL from the clipboard, and it's just prompting me for the description. So Man City bump the tune, and you can see here capture, so we can finish, we can refile, or we can abort. We can't refile because we've only got one heading there, so we'll just do Control-C, Control-C, and what you'll see is that it has now added that link in there. And let me just do that. So you can see it's automatically added the video prefix, it's grabbed the URL from the clipboard, and it's just prompted us for the description, basically. So let me just, where is the bugger? There we go. Okay. So we don't actually have to be in that file when we run the capture template doodah. So no way, don't get Jordan Henderson in. So let's grab that. So we're just in the scratch buffer here. We'll do Control C, video, link description, no to ex Liverpool players. Press return, Control C. You can see we're not actually in that file there, but if I switch back to the video.org file, you can see that it has now captured that video URL and added it to the org file. So, as I said, we can now queue these videos up, so we can basically use it to you know, if we're researching something, or, you know, we just want to create a playlist of things to watch, you know, of different things, but whether it's cartoons or documentaries, movies, old stuff, news or whatever, we could just sort of, you know, create new headings here. So we could call this, you know, tech, you know, football, you know, whatever. And then we can basically refile these into different things. So let's just do another one. Derby win. So what we can do is we can capture it and refile it. So let's call this NUFC, Newcastle Football Club. Okay, and we just come back to the scratch buffer. Control C, V. Oh, so do you know what it's done? Is it? I haven't grabbed the. I grabbed something after I'd copied the URL. Yeah. Okay. Copy the URL again. Control C, V. Now it's got the URL. Derby win. Press return. So now we can actually refile this. So Control C, Control W, Control C, Control W. And we can file it under NUFC like that. So now filed that away, and we can see under NUFC we've got Derby win. So basically what you can do is you can set a default target for where it's going to dump the links, but when you've actually done capturing it, you can actually then refile it under something else. So that makes it, you know, really nice way to basically be able just to go through, grab the URL or something to the clipboard, come across to Emacs, run the capture template, put in the description, and then file it away. And then, as I said, you can actually just come through all of these links, Control C O, Control C O, was it Control C, Control O rather, on each of these links, and it will basically queue them up with MPV. And again, it's going to use your MPV config with the conditional profile that I'll show you to, you know, set it so that it's not using cache, or it's using cache, or it's full screen on your second display, or whatever. So let's go through the code. So what we have here is my mpv.el section of my emacs init.el file. So a couple of steps to this. What we have is a couple of blocks of code and also a org capture template that I'll show you as well. So the first thing is we're going to create a video link type that opens a URL using should be mpv play remote video. So let me just change that. Okay, so what we have here is org link set parameters video, and then what you can see, so this is the name of the parameter that we're basically prefixing the URLs with. Then what we've got is two important things. We've got follow and store. So we've got follow hash comma mpv play remote video, and then we've got store hash comma org video store link. So basically what these are two functions that are actually created that are below here. So the first one, MPV play remote video, is the thing that is actually going to play the video. And the org video store link is what is used to create the prompt when we run org insert link, Control C, Control L, and we then have that little list and we can type video : and it prompts us for the URL. So that's what that bit's for. So I'll show you the first one here is the MPV play remote video. So this is a function that I've created, and I've done this by copying a bit of the mpv.el code and rejigging it. So what we've got here is this function here, and basically it's, first of all, it checks if it's actually a valid URL. So that's a good thing. So it's not going to try and play something that's just a bit of text. Okay, then what we have down here is this if statement here. So this is the important bit. So we say if not MPV process. So that means MPV isn't running. So basically what we need to do is check if MPV is running. If it isn't running, we want to play the file, play the URL. But if it is running, we want to append the URL to the playlist. So if MPV is not running, we run MPV start and then the URL. And then what you can see with these, this if statement, normally in other programming languages or shell scripts, you'll be used to an if else. The way it works in eLisp is it's actually the else is kind of indented down here, outdented as it were. So this is the if statement and then this is the else. So if it's not running, just play the URL. So that's when we do Control C, Control O on the link. It's just basically going to play the video. And what it does is actually activates a socket to communicate with MPV so that we can actually control MPV using emacs. If the video is running, if MPV is running, what we want to do is we want to run MPV -- playlist append URL. So that will append any URL to the playlist when we run Control C, Control O on the link. Okay, and then what we've got up here is the org video store link. So what we have here is store link to a video URL, org link store properties, type video, link, and description. So that is how we create the Control C L. Got to be in a video. Got to be in here. So when I run Control C, Control L, that's what basically powers this bit of stuff here, so that it will automatically create the link for you. Okay, so that's the bit of code that does it. We've got 3 bits here. We've got this org link set parameters with the follow and then the store, and we've got the store link down there, and then we've got the MPV play remote video function that I just described to you. So the next step is the org template. So what we've got here is the org capture template. So you can see when I press Control C, which I've bound to bring up the org capture template, we have W for website entry, or we have V for video URL. So what we have here is the V activates that capture template, and what we have here is file plus OLP, and then a path to the video.org file that I created. So in git personal bookmarks video.org. And then what we're doing here is we're actually setting a default link target. So if I come across to here, you can see we got a the first heading is called links. So just a general thing. You could call it whatever you want, brain dump or stuff or whatever general. It's not important, but the point is that you have a default place where stuff's going to go unless you refile it, basically. And then what we have down here is this is the actual capture template. So what happens is when I run the capture template, as you can see, what it automatically does is it'll automatically add 2 heading stars, because what you want is stuff where you've got a level 1 heading, links tech, football, NUFC, whatever, and then you have level 2 headings, which are actually the links. I mean, that's just the way I like to do it. You can do whatever way you'd want, but that's just me explaining it. So we've got the two stars. Okay, we've got the brackets, video :C. So that's the kind of the URL. And then what we have here is this link description. You can see this. You see how we've got this %, and what that does is that automatically positions the cursor at the start of the link description for you to type. So if I just come across here and do that, it will sort of make sense. So 2 stars space video : then the URL. Yeah. So control the %C. I think from memory that may be like copy from the clipboard or something. Then we had the link description. So when you actually do the run the capture template, is going to position your cursor at the beginning of these 2 brackets to actually type the description out. Yep. And then we have empty lines after 1. So basically what that does is that adds a new line, basically, because otherwise every time you captured stuff, they'd all be bunched up on, do you know what I mean? That would be bunched up over there. Basically, that would be like be capturing it like that. So that's why you want the new line. So that's the setup. So we now got a nice, easy way to capture stuff. So org links. So again, we can do this manually. Already take over. So we can do this manually like this. Insert mode, video : paste that in, bracket, and then description, bracket, which is the long way. Next way is running Control-C, Control-L to run org insert link. Control-C, Control-L, video, then Control-Y, paste it in. Link to, just call it whatever, and you can see that then I forgot to add the stars. Okay, so those are the manual way of doing it, and then running Control-C, Control-L, and then finally, as said, we have really. Finally, if I just come out of this, Control-C, Control-C, C, Control-C, C, video, that's already in there. We'll call that really, bang. We want to refile that, Control-C, W, NUFC, bang. And then we've captured that and refiled it. Okay, and another tip, vector locals, yeah, there's actually a way to, with this bit of code in a Git repository, it's called a dir-locals.el, nil.eval git auto commit mode 1. What that does is that will automatically add a commit every time I make a change. It's going to add a commit automatically. So when I'm capturing stuff with my templates, what that's going to mean, because this is under a Git repository, I don't have to run git add, put a message in, and every time I do a change, it's automatic. So I can just run git push GitHub master, and it will just push all the changes up automatically. So as I'm capturing stuff, it's auto committing it to the Git repository, which is really nice. Okay, so that's all the code. And one thing I will go through actually. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Just going to grab some URLs here, and I'm just going to show you this, and this will make sense in a second. If I run this, okay, give it a second. Okay, so what you can see there is I'm actually running yt-dlp, and it's actually giving me the time of the video and also the title. And you might not want the duration. So say we just want, let's just say we want the title, okay? And this will make sense in a second. Okay, so we've got the title there. So if you're thinking ahead with me, and you're thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice if we could automatically get the description of the video automatically, so we don't have to type it in? So that's the next thing that I want to actually look at, is having it set up so that you're not perhaps having two capture templates, one with an auto description and one with a manual description, so that you could basically capture a URL, and what it would do for the description, it would run yt-dlp, skip download, so it's not going to download anything, and it's just going to print out the title, so that we could automatically insert the title of the video into the description without having to do it manually. You can see it, if I run this again with the time command. Time, it takes about a second. You can see there 1.75 seconds. So it does take about a second or two, but it would still be quicker than manually typing it out. Because the issue is, if I want to copy that title in YouTube from these pages, it's very difficult to actually select the text. So typically what you'd have to do is open the video in a new tab and then come across and select the title after you've captured the URL. So that'd be, doing it manually would be a bit of a pain. So that's why I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to auto-populate the description using yt-dlp to print out the title of the video? So that's something else that I was going to have a look at, but I haven't quite got my head round doing that as yet. But as you can see, we've now got a way to either manually enter, and let me come back to the desktop. So again, we can, can manually put them in by typing out, which is the long way. We can run org insert capture, org insert link, and type video, paste it in, type the description, or to simplify it, the best way, as I said, is the let's just do laser, is the is running the capture. So Control C, D, B. So that's already done. Laser, refile, NUFC, bang. you can see, I think I said had extra line there. You can see it's automatically captured it. I delete the. You can either delete the closing bracket like that, or you can do org toggle link display. Give it a second or two, and you can see there it's expanded them, so you can actually see the full URL. So org toggle link display will put them back. But to be honest, you can see that took a little while. It's just quicker just to go like that, to be honest. But you can see the advantage of the org capture method is it eliminates several of the steps that we were having to do manually. It automatically inserts the video. It grabs the URL from the clipboard so you don't have to manually paste it in. And it just prompts you for the description. So you just type the description, capture it or file it away, and job done. And then, as I said, with these, if I come across, I just run Control-C, Control-O on each one of these links, and it will play the first one. And if I open other links, it's going to append them to the playlist. Okay, so Control-C, again, hang on. Switch across to the monitor. Yeah, switch across to the monitor there. You can see, and if I'm in MPV, I can press, I think it's Shift right triangle bracket thing to move to the next item in the playlist. Should come across in a second. So I've got the right command. Anyway, I showed it before. You get the. Oh yeah, there you go. So that's now. Oh yeah, I think it may be queued up several of the same one, but back to the laptop. Okay, so there we have it. Org capture templates. We got a new org handler for video files. We show you this working with a video URL to a MP4. Okay, archive.org big buck bunny. Okay, so what we're going to do is just grab the MP4 link. So there we go. So just grab the URL there, copy the URL. Might as well do it while I'm showing you this file. So Control-C, V. It's added that. We'll call that big buck bunny. Press return. Control-C, Control-C, and you'll see what it's done is it's added it under the default target of links. And if I now run Control-C, Control-O, it's going to open that link with MPV. What I'm going to do now is, while I remember, is come across to my MPV config, and let me just put it down one. Okay, that's better. So this is my MPV config, and what I'm going to do is show you conditional profiles. And these are profiles that only apply to particular URLs and will allow you to have particular options for the particular video streams. So what we have up here is we have a default profile called HW decode. So it's hardware decode. So you can see here, hardware acceleration profile. We've got the profile description, VO, GPU next, HW decode, VAPI. Message level. So by default we're setting the cache to no. We've got the yt-dlp format, so display stuff that's under 1080. We don't want to play 4K. Show milliseconds in the on-screen display, which is really useful. Default audio device. This is for YouTube subs that I've covered before, where you can set the default language and also the sub font, screenshot time code. Then what we have another one is another profile called cache, where we set the cache to auto, and you can run mpv -- profile equals cache. So that's like a manual profile. Now this is this is a conditional auto profile to match any YouTube URLs. So what you can see here, we've got the brackets, we've got YouTube, we've got the profile description. The next important one is the profile condition. So path find, you can see here we've got YouTube like that. So that basically matches YouTube URLs. So we can then, what we then do is we then include the default profile and then override particular bits of it. So we then say cache yes for YouTube videos. We set it to be full screen, and we set it to be full screen on a named screen, which in my case is DP3. So that's the external monitor. You can do the same thing for invidious URLs. Which typically run on local, if you're running it locally, it'd be localhost 3000. Then we've got stuff like here. So this is for archive.org. So that was the link we just captured. So this will automatically play with cache enabled on the second display. And then we've got stuff like for iPlayer. So bbc.co.uk/iPlayer. Match any of those links, same deal, and another link here for another type of BBC URL. So those are the conditional profiles in MPV, and as I said, what will happen is when you're running these commands, they will automatically, it'll kind of do a regular expression check on the URL and then apply that particular profile to that video link. So you can see here, this one is archive.org, so that would automatically, for instance, if I do config mpv.conf and set this to not be full screen, if I just comment those two out and then run that, it should now display on this monitor here. Okay, so when I run Control-C, it's still picking it up on that one for some reason. I think I've actually also got a bit of code in my emacs config that has got my second display as a default. But if I didn't have that, then it would have displayed on that screen. So hang on, let me just do that again and capture the other screen. Bugger. Hang on. MPV just disappeared behind the monitor. Hang on a sec. Here you go. So you can see that there. I didn't. Hang on. Let me do it again. My bad. Give it a second. Okay, you can see Big Butt Bunny there, and just switch across. Okay, so you can see basically how we can have a easy way to capture links now and file them away, and also apply conditional profiles to all of these links so that they will have particular parameters applied to them, whether it's the cache, the screen you want it displayed on, anything like that, any MPV option you want. So I'll put links to all this under the video, but as I said, the one thing I'm sort of trying to figure out is, if I come back to that, scratch buffer is how we can actually use this bit of code here, MPV skip download print title, to auto populate the link description. So what we what you kind of need is something that would automatically run a block of code and execute that. And let me just come across to yt-dlp. So I have used yt-dlp in a previous command with EWW. So what you can actually do is run async shell command concat, and I was using task spooler here. I actually needed to change that. yt-dlp to run a command, and and then maybe output it in a buffer, or somehow output that into the description. But basically, what that would mean is we'd have a way of capturing stuff and automatically filing away the URL and the description into a org file, which would be really handy. The other thing is there's the EL feed tube, which can actually come across to tube. Okay, so this is EL feed. It just takes a second to pull stuff in. I think it's the EL feed tube, and what it can do is, this is pulling in a RSS feed, but there's actually a way with this package to, as you can see, what we have got in here is we've actually pulled in the title, the author, the date, the tags, the length, the description, the thumbnail, and the description down here as well. So the other thing that might be nice is if you wanted to set things up a bit, is utilizing some of this code to actually maybe we could either use yt-dlp just to grab the title, but if you could hook into this with the all capture template, what that would mean is you could have a all capture template that would actually pull in some of this information. So as opposed to just having links like that, what you could do is pull in the thumbnail, but thinking about it, I don't think you would be able to pull in the thumbnail, because the issue is the image support in Emacs only works with local image files, I think. So the problem would be twofold. One is you'd have to download the image manually, and secondly, if you had the images in a org file, the file size would get pretty big if you had lots of links. So you probably wouldn't want to bring in the thumbnail or the description perhaps, but the title was the thing I was looking at. So maybe there's a way to utilize a bit of this code to pull in the title for the description. Otherwise, you'd have to look at creating a custom function with yt-dlp, skip download print title to actually grab the title. But ideally what I want is a way to just come across, copy the URL, and then you can run the all capture template. And if everything's automatic, if it's automatically grabbing the URL and the description, there's no kind of apart from you running the capture template here, there's no not much user interaction. So it might be possible to automate the whole thing with a global keyboard shortcut, so that what I really want to do is just be able to grab a link like that, run a keyboard shortcut, and have it automatically run the org capture template, and it's going to grab the URL from the clipboard. But then I said we want to be able to automatically from that URL grab the title. So if we could do that, then that would mean that literally you could just come across, copy a URL, press a keyboard shortcut, global keyboard shortcut, have it filed away with the URL and the title in your default, you know, capture thing here. So, you know, links or tech or emacs or freebsd or whatever it is. So that'd be really nice. So that's the one part that's missing, but I haven't quite got my head around how to do that as yet. So that's just some thoughts about you know, where I could take it next, which would sort of improve the user experience. But basically, I wanted a way to be able to capture stuff, create sort of playlists. I did have a brief look at Kodi, which I've used for used to use years ago, and I've written some scripts for. But it's a bit overkill, Kodi, if you're running it on your laptop, having this kind of big UI up. Also, the other issue is I've got another laptop, a MacBook, a 2015 MacBook, like a 13-inch, which has got a double resolution of like 2560, whatever it is. Not 1920 1080. And the problem is, if you're using the GNOME desktop, what happens is you have to use you have to double the scale, so the window actually comes out at 1200 by 800. And then when you're using Kodi, it defaults to that resolution, which is a bit annoying. So I had a look at Kodi and using VLC. But I thought using emacs and org mode links would be, you know, a nice low-tech solution. And hooking it in with the excellent mpv.el package means that I can basically queue all these videos up. I can open all these links, you know, I can come through, queue up all these links, and then actually control them from within Emacs. So if I just open this up, press shift back here, F2, that stopped. I can fast forward, rewind, quit, escape. So what it means is I can basically have a full set of stuff here. You know, you can tag this stuff as well, so you can do all the nice things with org mode to organize things. You can just come through and run Control-C, Control-O on each of these links, and it will queue them up to be played, basically. And then, as I said, you can control MPV from within Emacs, play, pause, stop, advance to the next playlist item, previous one, remove things from from the playlist. So yeah, and I said we've just got a nice simple syntax here. Just basically add in the bit of code I'll link to. With a video colon, any remote URL basically that MPV can play. So anything apart from DRM encrypted streams won't work with DRM, but it will work with yt-dlp supported sites, yt-dlp supported sites. Okay, so 1,781 lines, so that's basically the number of supported sites. So you can see all the supported sites for yt-dlp. So yeah, that's basically the gist of it, and I'll have a look and see if there's any way to improve this by automatically grabbing the title. Like I said, it won't actually, that technique won't work for everything. So sometimes grabbing the title of a page, let me just come back to Big Buck Bunny. So for example, on the archive.org.1, it won't actually grab the title from that particular page. So that's why I was thinking maybe you're going to want to have two capture templates, one with an automatic description and one with the manual description. I'll just come across here and it'll give us an error. I'm doing it now. Oh, it wasn't doing it before. Okay, maybe I picked another thing and it didn't work, but it is grabbing the URL. So For most of the supported sites, it should be able to actually grab the title from the video download page, which will allow us to use it in the description. But as I just need to figure out whether I need to create a function here with yt-dlp, or if there's something I can purloin from the EL feed tube package to actually extract the title from the URL, which would probably be easier. So I'll have a look at that code and see if that's possible. But that's basically org capture links for video. So it said what we've done is basically created a, see my cursor's going mad here. I'm going to close that in a sec in case it crashes. But these are the default handlers for external links in org mode, like file attachment, elisp, help, http, https. But basically we just created a new external link handler for videos to work with the mpv.el package, which will basically allow us to play pretty much anything on the internet apart from DRM encrypted videos directly from within Emacs, and control the video with Emacs as well. So I'll put links to all this under the video, and if you've got any ideas on how to automatically grab the description, the title for the description, and then also looking into how we could create a global hotkey, so that once we've got a video URL on the clipboard, we can just press a global hotkey to have it automatically captured and filed away with the link and the title for the description. So that's all for now, and I hope that helps out making Emacs a bit better with the mpv.el package.